What do we actually know about that particular case?
Well, good afternoon, Ash. This new case is connected to the existing cluster at Princess Alexandra Hospital. It's a person who attended that now very well-known hens party in Byron Bay. But the really good aspect about this new case is that the person has not been out in the community. They've been quarantining, so health are not going to have to put out any new notifications, and they're not terribly concerned about that case in terms of risk to the public. So this is a pretty good outcome, about as good as it could have been, and it means that now lockdown will be lifted in an hour here in Queensland. We are in the dying minutes, and it was certainly a very upbeat premier today at the press conference, particularly compared to a couple of days ago. Here's what Ms Palaszczuk had to say.
This has been phenomenal. It has been very stressful for everyone, and I just want to thank everyone who's been involved. Most importantly, you at home. People of this state have really stepped up, and people in Greater Brisbane have honestly listened to everything that we have asked of them, and I cannot be more proud.
But Ben, this isn't the end of restrictions, is it?
No, not by a long shot. And this is where it gets a bit interesting, because for the next 2 weeks there are still going to be restrictions in place right across the state. So it doesn't matter where you are in Queensland, you must carry one of these, a mask, everywhere you go, and they must be worn in indoor places. There's also seating limitations at restaurants where people have to be seated, and gathering limits of 30 people as well. Now, this has puzzled some people, and we reported on that a few days ago, because these measures are the same ones that were brought in place on Monday, because people are asking, well, why is it if I'm in Longreach that I have to wear a mask and carry a mask, places that have never seen COVID-19 before? I asked Dr. Young about this, and here's what she had to say.
I agree with you, except that I've been burnt. So in the past, do you remember going back to the Brisbane Youth Detention Centre? I went and put requirements then and thought, I'm being mad, I'm being ridiculous. And then we had a worker who was positive, I don't know how, who ended up, it was contact with someone who worked at that healthcare centre, and I just thought, oh, that was the right decision.
So I suppose, to summarise Dr. Young's thinking, it's really an abundance of caution. Ultimately, she says that otherwise they would have to put limits on people leaving Greater Brisbane, and they don't want to be doing that, and people in Greater Brisbane can travel anywhere in the state, so being overcautious. And she also says that the measures they're asking for are not that burdensome either. So here we are, coming out of lockdown very soon, and these things, though, masks, we haven't gotten rid of them just yet.